Viewers, a massive controversy has broken out after, and you can see those pictures if you don't believe me, after Indian cricket fans in Hyderabad cheered lustily for the Pakistani cricket team, spurring them on to beat Sri Lanka. If that was jarring, then in Ahmedabad, the Pakistan cricket team was given a rousing welcome with dhol and a flower shower to boot, as if they were heroes. Many, including politicians, have slammed the support for Pakistan's cricket team. Many have said that feting Pak players is a cruel betrayal of the sacrifices of martyrs who have sacrificed everything fighting cross-border terrorism that emanates from Pakistan, and terrorism which has never been denounced by any of these Pakistani cricketers who call themselves the ambassadors of peace. Others have pointed out that Pakistan's cricketers don't see themselves as ambassadors of a sport, but as soldiers of Islam. Here are the hard facts that go to some extent to bear this out. Yes, viewers, they've crossed the line and they don't deserve to be cheered, and these are the reasons. Pakistan players joined the Tablighi Jamaat, a large number of them, and forced fellow players to convert. I haven't said this. This is recorded fact that has been well publicized in the Pakistani press. The Hindu member of the Pakistan team, Anil Dalpat, and I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about a decade and a half back, said minority players like himself were told to convert. Ex-Pakistan manager P. Mir, after Pakistan lost the World Cup in 2007, said that the Pakistani cricket players were more enthusiastic to convert non-Muslims than play cricket. Waqar Yunus lauded Rizwan for offering namaz on the ground, surrounded, as he said, by Hindus. This is after, of course, viewers, Pakistan defeated us in the T20 World Cup. In 2021, Pakistan Netas called victory over India in the T20 World Cup as a win for Islam. I'm not saying it, that man on your screen said it, and he was once the Interior Minister of Pakistan, the Home Minister of Pakistan, viewers. Let's open this up. Let's go across to Sanjay Jha and Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, I don't know where to begin. Should I excoriate Indian cricket fans or the BCCI? I don't know who. Can you help me out here?
Rahul, not just the BCCI, the government also. Remember, the Indian High Commission in Islamabad actually reached out. They called up Pakistani journalists and told them to apply for visas. When did BCCI start deciding Indian cricket policy or Indian visa policy? Now, you can call them over for, having these games and things like that. Sure, it is your international obligation. There is, you can't help it. Fine.
Now, that's what I was about to say.
Do you have to go on these cringe-inducing? I don't know what it is. Some very uncharitable words come to mind. But both here and at the Hyderabad hotel, what was the need for all this tamasha? Now, understand. Let's look at people here. Let's not go by history. Let's look at the history of the people here itself. This boy Afridi, do you remember during the abrogation of 370 and even before and after that, what all his father-in-law has said, left, right, and center? Has he ever condemned his father-in-law? How is he celebrated and feted like this when his father-in-law talks nonsense? Second, do you remember what Babar Azam said in the last, I don't know what match it was, Kya kufar mar gaya or something like that? He said that, na?
Yes.
Has he ever been asked to condemn it? No. So, there is some iota of shame or decency that I expect from the BCCI, and sadly they are such sold out people who just see money, that they will sell their country out, their dignity of their country out for anything. 30 pieces of silver.
But let me ask you this, because this is an important conversation. Mr. Mitra, of course, according to the ICC rules, if you had boycotted, let's assume, if the BCCI said nothing doing, we can't have Pakistan here, we would have lost the right to, or forfeited the right to host the World Cup, number one. Number two,
but did you have to organize all that dancing at the stadium and everything like that?
Right. So I want to ask you, because under normal circumstances, one hates to rake up this thing called the Tebbit test. You know about the Tebbit test. I'm not one to support it. But what about cricket fans? I mean, should not some responsibility also devolve upon some of us who went there and cheered for Pakistan as if, I don't know what they were expecting.
Rahul, something. How many people in India are you aware that actually tune into political conversations and things like that? India would much rather prefer to watch things like Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and those horrendous Ekta Kapoor serials where Rasode Mein Kya Tha and mother-in-law slapping.
No, but Mr.
daughter.
Mitra, look, we all know. I mean, you don't have to be reading the front page of the newspaper every day to know that Pakistan exports terror. On a daily basis, we are being touched by terror. We are losing relatives and friends to terror.
The population is not a high IQ population, Rahul.
Okay. Let me bring in Sanjay Jha. I think Abhijit Iyer Mitra, I'm ready to stick my neck out, which I have in an article. I would say that the Indian public, fine, the BCCI is letting people down, but we can actually change this by not watching those matches. I certainly don't watch Pakistan play. Cross my heart, viewers. I don't. And I'm not going to be watching on Saturday. I've even written a piece. I am one of those who was externed from my own home because of Pakistani terror. And today I want to ask you, Sanjay Jha, what do you call those Pakistani fans who stood up in Hyderabad? I don't want to, talk about the Tebbit test. The Tebbit test is, of course, you must judge a crowd of immigrants. This is a British MP, as you might know, who said if they keep cheering for their own home team, so to speak, the ones that come from their own country of origin, then they're obviously not aligned with our constitution. That's what he said. But what do you do about this lot? Jeetega Pakistan, bhai jeetega. What nonsense is this? Should we not be ashamed? Sanjay Jha?
Yeah. Rahul, if you don't interrupt me, I'll give you a short answer.
Not at all.
Both Mr. Mitra and you, since both of you seem to be highly disturbed with Pakistan playing the World Cup in India, it would have made sense that instead of waiting after the World Cup has begun and nothing can be changed, you guys should have spoken to Jai Shah, Amit Shah's son, who, by the way, not just runs BCCI, but apparently has a huge weight in the ICC, to make sure that Pakistan never came to play the World Cup.
Okay.
I mean, after all, there is a BJP government at the center led by Mr.
No, are you
Modi.
taking the high ground, Sanjay Jha? You represent the Congress party. No, hang on, just a minute. First of all, I wrote a piece.
Not to interrupt me, but you are.
No, one second. Sanjay ji, one second. I want you to answer a simple statement. No, you attacked me. You attacked me directly. I thought you were making a broader case. No, one second. You can't get away every night by attacking me personally. Just a minute. I wrote a piece, viewers. You can go to my timeline. You can go to the CNN News 18 website. And I have taken on the BCCI there as well as through my tweets as well as, of course, through my piece. But I want to ask you, Sanjay Jha, today, okay, it suits you politically. You're in the Congress party. At one time, you were not. You were running a cricket website. I don't know if you still do. At that time, the same Congress invited Zia-ul Haq and the entire cricket team with Dr. Manmohan Singh in attendance, and in Mohali, they watched a match because they said, oh, cricket diplomacy chalegi desh mein. And what did we get for that, Sanjay Jha? The Congress party's great faith in cricket diplomacy and Aman Ki Asha and all that gunk, sentimental, mawkish gunk. I want to ask you, take a stand for once.
Yeah. So Rahul,
take a stand. Come on, say that, look, this is unacceptable.
Taking a stance, and your viewers will be keen to hear me, not just the anchor. So if you don't interrupt me, I'll probably finish.
Not sure.
The Aman Ki Asha that you talked about actually was a very popular campaign run by the Times of India group, where you were employed for several years yourself.
And I'm a critic of that, and I paid for my outspokenness. My dear man, unlike you, who is not calling out cricket diplomacy as being a failed bridge between India and Pakistan. You will not call it out because you're invested in cricket, aren't you?
Yeah. So let me finish the cricket story. I'm glad you asked me because I have a personal narrative on that. 1 year after the Kargil war...
Well, look, I'll have to wrap it up. I've run out of time. If you hadn't wasted the time by attacking me personally,
had
you might have
invested
actually
enough
had a
me,
point to make.
you would have had
I'll
a
leave it at
conversation.
that.
I was also
Anand
attacked.
Narsimhan coming up. Don't go away, viewers. It's a big show, The Right Stand. Watch.